Welcome back to the vlog and welcome here to Mariama once again. We're heading up to Yambaitok today. Haven't done this route with you guys before, so let's go ahead and get started. It's just a 21-minute flight over to Yambaitok. Batteries on, fuel pump on, and low start. I just shut down about 10 minutes ago, so wait for my ITT to drop off below 200 before introducing my fuel. Make sure my oil pressure is coming up into the yellow and kind of slowly climbing, and then watch my ITT come up. Make sure my NG is coming up over 35%. That's the end of the start. Generator on, up forward or V2 on, 20 degrees of flaps. Alternator on, let it spike for a second, and then throw our auxiliary bus on. All the props coming in. We'll go ahead and start up our checklist for takeoff and get our blowers going because it's really humid this morning. It's only 9:41 in the morning, but it is humid. We'll turn Betty off for takeoff. We are just going up to probably 5,000. I mean, it's at like 500 feet and it's only 21 minutes away, so. And there's quite a bit of cloud layer here, so we might just go underneath of it all and save ourselves from, I think the layer is right around 4,000 to 5,000, so I filed for only 5,000, so rather than flying IMC for 20 minutes and then having to go back out to the Seabig to drop down through it, it might just be easier to stay underneath of it. Which is in instruments, we are 5,700 pounds, so 56 and 65. So if we had to come in, we're going to come back in at 65 knots and 56 knots. Or rotate today. Ups are set, indicated, and verified. We'll get our trim set up and we'll start taxiing on down that way as we get our trim. Moresby 1267, November Tango Echo taxi. Moresby 1267, November Tango Echo. Moresby 8819, November Tango Echo taxi. November Tango Echo taxi, Mariama, Yambaitok 1 POB.
November Tango Echo.
All stations Mariama 1267, November Tango Echo will be departing Mariama for Yambaitok below 5,000. I will be airspeed alive by the second cone on the left, otherwise we'll go ahead and stop on the runway. Full reverse, heavy braking, cut off, pull off, and shut off if we're going off. Masters and crack my door. After takeoff, pitch for 85 knots. Consider EPL, consider feather. Otherwise, we'll do a right-hand or a left-hand turn, whatever's closest to the, there's a lake out there, so whatever's closest to the edge. 80 full flaps, cut off, pull off, and shut off. Emergencies, masters, and crack my door. There's people here that can help me out, so I'm not going to waste my time trying to get hold of anybody on the radio. Abort is complete. Ignition, inlet, and lights. We did our SAR. 30 degrees out. We are sea level 1590, so 1540 for 1590. Mission condition, flaps 20. Fuel and harnesses. Rotating at 56, so 1540. My torque at 1540, lots of right rudder, the nose, just hold it right there, there's just above the ground. Airspeed's alive, there's 56, there's airborne, nose over a tiny bit. Give him a wave. And we'll just do a 180 right back around us. There's a couple hills behind us, but we're super light today. Heading up to Yambaitok to drop off just a couple of things, but more importantly, we are going to Yambaitok today to drop off the solar panel equipment for the solar panel project that we did back in January. So if you're part of that, which was a lot of people, huge thank you to everybody that was a huge part of that. Can't do this kind of stuff without you guys. Really do appreciate your generosity and your willingness to help out with that. So anyways, I've got the fridge, I've got the panels, everything now, and so I was kind of just waiting on the fridge for it to come in. Got all of that, and I'm also working on a second project right now. I'm actually going to purchase the stuff we're picking up next week for Yifki for their school up there, and I'll go into more of that detail once I get everything for that. So we had some money left over from this first project, so that's where that money is coming from. Or that's where that stuff is coming from. Let's bring our prop back to 2,000. Like I said, it's so short. We're just going to stay up underneath this cloud layer today because it starts at around, I don't know, 1,800 feet and then goes to around 5,000, a few different layers. So there's no point in getting up through that just to come immediately right back down in like 10 minutes by the time I get up and come right back down. So we're going to bring our torque on back so that our fuel flow is right at 320. So my fuel flow, I'm just bringing it all the way back. So it's just a 320 because that's what I did all of my flight planning on, is at 320. It's probably going to be around 1,100 foot-pound of torque. There we go. Close enough for now. Moresby 8819er, November Tango Echo, departure. We are here in Papua New Guinea today, every day, and we're in the East Sepik today. We just left Madiama, and we're just going to be following along the ridge here, coming in the Uat River, and then right about there is where Yambaitok is. If you want to do the landing into Yambaitok on, like, let's say Microsoft Flight Sim or something, I'll have a link down below where on my Patreon page I do a lot of these same flights that you guys can recreate, and a couple people have designed it specifically for a Microsoft Flight Sim, and they did an excellent job at it. So yeah, if you want to fly into the exact same place and experience it for yourself and have a landing challenge for yourself and see if you can land there, have at it. We're just cruising along the edge of these mountains. Let's go ahead and bring the strip chart up. November Tango Echo, departed Madiama for Yambaitok, time 47, tracking 293, correction 113, below 5,000, estimating Yambaitok time 08. Oh, we're waiting for him. Yambaitok is just elevations 510 feet, 530 meters long. It's just flat. It says it's 0.7, but you don't even notice that much. All right, just got a chime saying this is just a text message from the MAF agent that's out here. No wind. No low clouds, lots of blue breaks, little rain last night, but airstrip has dried out and cut. Good deal. This is our V2 track. It's a company out of New Zealand, I believe. But anyways, it's really, really handy for here in Papua New Guinea, the use that we do here, because we can text back and forth to home base because HF doesn't work very good. Once I kind of come into the pattern, I'll be flying overhead and then around, flying over top of the airstrip, and like I said, there's going to be I've mentioned it before, but there's a kind of a notch in the tree line as it comes down right where I turn final. So I usually just say there's a tree right there. It's not really a tree, it's like just like a joggle kind of in the tree line. So I'll be turning my final there regardless of what my altimeter is saying my altitude is at. And like I was saying, if you wanted to download that strip for Yambaitok, the person who built it actually put that in there at the correct altitude, so you can turn at the exact same final where I do. And so anyways, I think that's really cool. We're just at 1,500 feet now, which is my pattern altitude. What we're going to have to do is we're just tracking basically along the edge of all these mountains. Once we get to the river, then we'll head up towards Yambaitok. Well, the weather today is quite the treat. It's been crummy weather all week long. It's Thursday now. I spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday up in Wewak doing surveys with the RAA, the Rural...
Contact mode now, 128.5, no contact, secondary 6538.
1285 or 6538. Now, November Tango Echo. Just transitioning into a different area. Moresby 1285, November Tango Echo. Moresby 1285, November Tango Echo. There's a big, huge mountain right in front of me. Typically, I just jump right over that, but there's quite a bit of cloud cover. I don't want to have to climb all the way up to 7,000 just to get over top of that. So we're just going to go to the end of it, cut around, and then make sure that I'm going up the correct river because it splits right there, and one goes completely different way, and then one goes up the right valley. Moresby 6538, November Tango Echo, transfer.
November Tango Echo, this is Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Echo now with you on 6538, estimating Yambaitok time 09er.
November Tango Echo.
After I land here at Yambaitok, I'm picking up a group of high schoolers, I imagine, heading up to Compium to drop them off. There's a school up near Wabag area, so it's only like a 12-minute flight. If I have enough battery life, I'll see if I can record that one as well for you guys, but
500.
It's a really hard life to be able to live out here with no roads, no access. The only way that these kids are getting off to their school is either through flying, or if it's a 12, let's see, it'd probably be a few days hike up there through the mountains and sleeping on the trails and things like that to get to school. So it is a huge, huge benefit that we're able to pick them up. We're already going in there and it's on the way back to Goroka more or less, so glad to help them out with that. We'll just squeeze through this gap a little here, right here, and then the river should just be right on the other side of that. And we want to take the big river going up off to the left, not to the right. Wrong valley. And this forest and jungle is so dense. Absolutely so dense. So here's the first valley. We don't want that one. We want the second one, but we'll just kind of cut right here, hop over the second ridge up there, and then we'll just be a few miles to go. Look at all those different rivers just splitting through all of the jungle down there. That's really cool looking. We're 6 minutes out now. Our fuel selectors are both on. We just checked my brakes. My TAWS is still turned off. Our VREF, which is our approach speed, we're still 5,600, 57, so 65 knots is what we'll remain at. Lights and inlets. Our landing light and our engine inlet to bypass. In case we pick up some like grass cuttings or suck up a bird or anything like that, it just spits it out the bottom of the aircraft. We're landing on runway 21 today, so we'll flip our OBS to runway 21. 210, there we go. If we need to go around, it's really last
500.
minute. At this airstrip is really nice because it's just up on a ridge and it just drops off at the end. So we can really go last minute go around. What happens here, it's just 10 in the morning now, but right around 11 o'clock is usually when the winds start shifting and start heading the opposite way. So many times in the morning, they're coming down the valley and heading out towards the Sepik, where around 11 usually the winds shift and head up the valley. So if you see right here, it's already showing that the winds are actually heading up the valley. They're not very strong yet, so hopefully I won't have too much of a tailwind for landing, but that is one nice thing about here is you can just go around like really at the last second with no dramas and not too much stress. All stations, Yambaitok 128.5, November Tango Echo, 7 miles to the northwest, 1,500. Circuit time, Yambaitok, 09er. If we do have to go around for any reason, it's going to be power up, 20 degrees of flaps, pitch for 73, an immediate left-hand turnout, reset our ITT to 740, and then maneuvers or whatever required. We'll come back around and try it again. Prop and harness we'll do here in just a second. We'll just remain at 1,500. I'm just a couple of feet shy of that, but 1,500 feet is what I'm looking for. That'll give me my pattern altitude of 1,000 feet. Oh, the winds are picking up to 8 knots tailwind now. Because I'm under my max gross weight, let's see, I said I was 5,600, so I'm 1,600 pounds under my, well, just a little bit more, about 1,650 underneath my max gross weight. We do have a landing penalty into here as well. But basically, I can take up to about 8 knots of tailwind, according to my charts, according to how heavy I am and whatnot. And we'll see kind of, it's usually, this is like a Venturi right here. The mountains come closer and the winds speed up right here. So we'll see how it goes for landing, because yeah, it's now saying I've got 10 to 11 knots of tailwind, but I'm at 1,000 feet. So we'll see how it is right over the numbers. They did recently move their windsock so to the end of the runway, so I should be able to get a little bit better of a reading what it'll be right over top of those numbers. It looks like it's hanging out a tiny bit, but only 3 or 4 knots. Moresby 6538 November Tango Echo
500.
in the circuit. Yambaitok, report after landing.
November Tango Echo.
All stations Yambaitok 128.5 November Tango Echoes in the circuit Yambaitok.
500.
10 degrees of flaps, prop forward. And I'll cancel star on the ground because I don't know if I'm going to be able to land or not, so we'll see. Looking at the windsock, it looks like maybe 3 or 4 knots, like kind of quartering tailwind possibly. Let me fly directly over top of it though so I can see it a lot better. 20 degrees flaps. Oh, actually no, it looks like it's just sitting there with 0 wind whatsoever. Oh no, it's just barely blowing, probably 3 knots tailwind. Maximum 4, that's good for me. We're going to turn around 1,200 feet kind of on our base, and then it's just going to be a hard right-hand turn. Almost, it's, yeah, not quite 180, but that way, whatever that is. Looking for 75 on our base.
500.
I'm going to start slowing down now so I get more of 85 knots here, so that when I'm turning my base, here's a 1.2. Still about 100 feet higher than I wanted to be, so we'll just drop a little bit more now. These are 85. We're dropping to 900 feet roughly, where that notch is in the trees. And we'll do flaps here in a sec. Actually, let's do full flaps now. Checklist is complete for as far as we can go. Five knots
500
now. 165 turning final. See around 900 feet where this tree is usually. I hit 70 knots, about 5 knots above my desired airspeed right before turning final. So there's about 900. Now turning final. To 65. Five knots tailwind. Continuing. 5 knots, and we're committed. Like I was saying at the beginning, huge thank you for everybody that was a part of this solar panel project. When they get it all installed, I'll do another video showing you guys exactly what it is and how it's benefiting the community out here with the medical clinic and stuff. And I've also got another one coming up for a school for Yifki here shortly. So I'll be talking about that a little bit more in some future videos as well. So thanks for taking the time to watch, you guys. Sure do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it as always. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment and consider subscribing if you haven't already. We've got videos out twice a week, so if you're interested in seeing more on the ground content like those like videos that I do here on the ground with the people and whatnot, check out my Patreon page. I do a lot of that kind of stuff, and also just extra kind of content that I don't put on here. All right, flip all of our lights off. All right, welcome to Yambaitok, and thanks for watching. See you next time.